I know the secret to making good corn on the cob.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn! A good corn that knobs. It has the juice. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn! I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change.
The secret to good corn on the cob is knowing how you're going to cook it before you start to prepare it. If I'm going to cook the corn outside on the grill or in a fire, I like to keep it in the husk and you sometimes even wrap the husk in tin foil if it's going directly in the fire. But there's still another trick to it. The corn that you buy, even when you buy it out of this I bought out of the back of a trailer. Some farmer is selling off a trailer in one of the parking lots. And it's fairly fresh. You can tell how fresh your corn on the cob is by doing the poke test. You poke a kernel with your thumb, and if milk squirts out, it's very fresh. If it's more of a solid that squirts out, then the corn's getting a little old. Now, if the corn is going on the grill, I leave it in the husk. If it's not, then, and I'm going to boil it at home, then I do peel it before boiling it. But either way, the important part to do is to soak your corn. And by soaking it, I mean husk and all, soak it in the water, a big pot of water for a day before you cook it. Soaking the husk lets a few things happen. One of the things that happens is all the kernels reabsorb more water. So they're more luscious, fluffy, and don't taste dehydrated. Secondly, water penetrates all the way through the cob. So when you go to cook it, the cob isn't dry, it has water in it, and that allows the heat to transfer through better. The end's good on this, so I don't have to chop off the end. I like leaving a stub on there. My water is at a boil now. Boiling boil of water. Since I'm not cooking outside because it's the wrong time of the year for that and day, I'm not going to grill it in the oven or broil it. It's just one piece of corn for me. I'm just going to boil it. I cleaned it off, and then we put it in a pot of boiling water where it's just barely floating. And we let it sit there until the kernels are cooked. Now the way to check is pretty much the opposite of the way we just checked for freshness. We pop them again, and this time I'll use a knife because it's hot and I don't want to burn my fingers. And again, what we're looking for is, instead of it being milky juicy, it should be solid all the way through, and the knife should slide right into the kernel with little to no pop at all. And we let this cook. It'll take about 5 minutes or so. And then clean up the rest. Now, on top of your corn, what do you put? I keep it simple. I just like salt. Sometimes I like butter. If it comes out wet enough, sometimes I'll skip the butter and just put salt directly on. But today I'm going to show you how to do both. And we let it cook. Dude, it is boiling. Yummy.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn! A good corn that knobs. It has the juice. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn! I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change.
Okay, it's been a few minutes. We can check the corn. You can tell by pretty much even by just picking up with the tongs. And then you pop one. See how it's cooked all the way through the kernel. The knife drops right in nice and easy. So it is cooked. Move the hot water water to the back so I don't burn the hell out of myself. If you hold the corn point down, the water drains off quicker and easier than if you hold it the other way. You know, it's kind of nature. It's the way it works with nature, not against it. Alright, we got these fancy dancy corn cob holders, which look like corn themselves. So I put these in each end. Now my corn on the cob. Now my corn on the cob is on the cob, which is great unless you're on a planet where everything is on the cob. Then you have to leave that planet. Ask Rick Sanchez for further details. So, how do you add salt and stuff? If you add salt right now when it just comes out and it's wet, your salt will stick. If you wait till this cools down in a little bit and dries off, because it dries off quickly, your salt will not stick and it'll be nasty. The way you can get around that is you use a little butter. And just take your stick of butter, spin your corn, and wipe a thin coat of butter on it. The rest will melt in. And you do the same thing with your salt. Spin it a little bit, add a little salt. I don't do the whole street corn thing with putting chilies and everything else on it. Corn is perfect as it is with a little salt and butter. That's good. That's very good. You know, it does get stuck in my teeth. It's been Real Easy Cooking with Robert, and I'm done. Ask Rick Sanchez for further details.